So you're over at the Mohegan Sun right now, getting ready for Bellator?
Yeah, I'm living the quarantine life right now, man. I'm here, and I had my COVID test this morning, so I'm in my room and I'm on lockdown.
That's it. So you're not allowed to leave your room for any reason right now.
No, we got to stay in our rooms. So if we want to go down and eat, we got to eat and then grab our food and bring it back up. And they're pretty strict here for sure. So they've done a really good job with the whole process and coming in here. They've been very accommodating. Bellator's been amazing and totally accommodating. And wow, the Mohegan Sun. It's my first time here at Mohegan Sun.
How is it? Nice spot?
Beautiful. Wow. Impressive, beautiful resort. Wow. It's just a gorgeous resort and friendly people. It's the beautiful setup here they got. It's great. So Bellator and Mohegan Sun and did a terrific job, and the whole process, the quarantine process and the testing was painless. It was pretty, we're in and out. So it was we just sit here and wait and just follow the rules and play the game, and they're doing it right though. So they don't want to have any issues with anybody or anything or any fighters. So their priority is safety. So I'm cool with that, and I'll go along with it, and it's been good.
I was going to ask you too, like, from the UFC side, the Bellator side, as far as testing is concerned, is there a different style the way each promotion is doing it, or is it all by the commission? How are these rules implemented compared to UFC and Bellator?
You know what? The last show I worked for the UFC was in Brazil, and that was the last show that I worked, and it was right before the pandemic actually kicked in. So I hadn't really.
Oh, it was before. Okay.
Yeah, it hadn't hit Brazil. It just right when it started, so it hadn't made its way completely towards Brazil on the United States side, especially in Los Angeles, where I'm from. Costco's were already being hit with the rations of toilet paper, and all the stores were getting all the canned food. So it was kind of pretty hectic and stuff. But over there, it hadn't quite hit yet. And but the show was pretty much the theme has been since then. It's no audience, and you're in the back, and you got to wear a mask and everything. So I'm assuming that the protocol is the same. And then talking to the other officials that I talked to, Mark Goddard and David Michael Bell and Ron McCarthy and Derek Cleary and all those guys, all the judges and stuff and referees, it's pretty much the same from what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a guideline that they go by, and there's obviously there's protocol. So they're doing that and some here. So, it's about as safe as you're going to get.
That's great, man. That's good to hear. And, the card that's coming up right now, is that going to be for this Saturday night?
The fight's going to be this Friday.
Friday night.
Friday night. It's tomorrow. So I believe the weigh-ins are already done now, or they should be done, or they're in the process of it right now. I'm still back in LA time, so we've got 3 hours ahead over here.
Just so you know, it's 3 p.m.
Yes, it is. I know. Don't remind me. Yeah, I know, dude. Like, wake up, dude. Get your ass up.
How is it like? How was it like in the airport flying over? They're pretty good with the whole protocol and everything.
You know what it was? It was. To be honest with you, man. Joe, it was actually kind of cool because there was no traffic coming into LAX. So that was kind of weird, There was zero traffic going in and out of LAX, which is a nightmare in and of itself.
Like a scene like from I Am Legend, freaking Will Smith's walking down New York City. There's nobody around.
Yeah. So this is my first time flying during this pandemic and during this COVID period. And, we're just kind of like, I don't give a pushback. I just roll with the punches. They want you to wear a mask. I'll wear a mask, man. And if you're going to a restaurant, just roll with the punches, man. I have my opinions about everything, but that doesn't matter. So why create hostility for anybody else that they're just wear it and wash your hands, be clean, man.
That's it, right? Some stuff that we learned when we were kids. Wash your hands,
brother. Well,
wipe your ass,
What a simple concept that is, huh? Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Yeah.
Jeez.
People do some filthy things in this world, my friend.
Brother, I hear you, man. That's another show.
That's another show. Yeah, that's another show. I can hook you up with some of those shows too.
Yeah. We'll talk later.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you said you grew up in LA?
Yeah. I'm originally from East LA. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
It.
Yeah, West Side, baby.
I'm from East Los Angeles, man. The West Side in LA is a nice side.
Okay, got you, man. Got you. So you grew up. It was like rough growing up and tough neighborhood.
Yeah. East Los Angeles is predominantly it's 99.9999% Mexican. And
right.
Both my parents are immigrants from Mexico. My dad's from Culiacan, Sinaloa, and my mom is from Tepehuanes, Durango. And they migrated from Mexico, just like every other immigrant, to live the American dream. And here they settled in East Los Angeles, which is, East LA. And, that's where the American dream began for them. And they raised us. And, and that's where I went to high school in that area. And there was a lot of gangs, a lot of violence, but we grew up. It's funny because when I was growing up, I didn't realize that we were broke down and poor. We didn't have much stuff.
Of course, when you're a kid,
I didn't know. But I one thing that my parents always provided. My dad worked like 3 jobs. He worked construction. He was a banquet waiter and he was a butcher at Farmer John. For many years. And
that's funny. Supermarket?
My dad. Say again.
That was a supermarket
at Farmer John's. Farmer John's is
okay.
they make sausages and hot dogs and stuff like that. And so he was a butcher out of there, and at night he was a banquet waiter, and he also did construction. So my dad worked hard, and my mom went to East Los Angeles College to learn to speak English, and she put herself through school so she can learn to speak English and got into real estate. So education was really big in our family, and they pushed that, we never lacked anything. So it was a trip. I didn't realize it till we were older. We didn't have much, but one thing we did have in my household was family, and we had a lot of love, and we were I grew up with family, with my cousins and everybody all in one house, and it's just the way it was. And English was my second language, believe it or not.
No kidding. Very well spoken, man. Couldn't even tell.
Yeah, I was an ESL student, man. I was the whitest Mexican in class, man. I couldn't speak English, man. And I had a hard time pronouncing words. So yeah, man. So it's just it's kind of how that worked out, and but I come from a very close knit family, very, 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 very tight family, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to have been raised the way I was raised. That money really didn't. Obviously would have been nice, but the structure and the love we had made me the father that I am today with my kids. I learned a lot from my parents.
That's amazing, man. Like parents, I think they know the importance of their role, but I don't think how important it is. Like kids, we're constantly absorbing information and the way we're treated, man. So that goes a long way, man. That's what's up, man. Your parents sound like awesome people, bro.
Very, very good people. They're amazing. They're very simple, and one thing I do remember fondly growing up was celebrating the 4th of July. The 4th of July in my house. 4th of July, bro, was very big for us as kids because we didn't have all the fancy fireworks or what have you, we didn't go to Disneyland or any of those cool things like that to see the firework display like a lot of kids did, or we'd go to church and see a display, firework display or something like that. But my dad used to give sparklers, and that was like, as a kid, you think that's super cool, and so I remember the sparklers, and my parents were very much, you better know your heritage, both where we come from Mexico, but you're an American, and respect this country. Is the reason why we're here, is because it's the best country on earth, and this is our Independence Day, so we celebrate it, and understand the reason why we're here is because we want a better life for you guys. That's why we left Mexico, and that's why we're here. So don't you ever forget that. And I always remember that as a kid, and that's probably why, I'm very patriotic. And it started grassroots from being raised by immigrants, parents from Mexico.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. That's like an old school approach, a lot of respect, for the country. I think that's great, man. It really is.
I got amazing parents. I love my parents to death. My family is amazing, and I hit the lotto with an amazing family.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm blessed, bro. So it's awesome.
And then, so when you were going through high school and everything, were you into any sports in high school? Did your parents push you to get into sports, or was it mainly education?
Yeah, I always played sports. When I was a kid, soccer was the first sport I ever played. So, I played soccer.
Dude, I wouldn't want to be getting clotheslined by you playing soccer.
Dude, I wasn't very fast, dude. So, you can see me coming a mile away, bro. Straight up. There ain't no clotheslining there. You can duck that and take my back in a second, as slow as I was, bro. So, I mean, I can kick the ball hard, but yeah, I sucked. So I wasn't much of a soccer player. I enjoyed it. I think they put me in soccer so I can go to sleep early, get me tired, That's the real story, man. They were playing with me, man. But no, soccer. I played soccer as a kid. I enjoyed it. I played a lot of baseball, football.
Nice.
I boxed. Boxing was big for me as a kid. I started boxing at 10 years old. I was very I was an active kid. I can say I was an active kid, and I wouldn't say I was the greatest athlete on earth, or anything like that, but I do have a foundation in sports, and I enjoyed team sports, and I think it was very important. They did push activities on us, as well as education. I mean, I wasn't the most favorable student. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed in my hand. Yeah, I was the black sheep of the family in my household, but. I think all of us ended up all right. All my siblings have done well. They're educated, and they've all done well. All of us have. So I think at some point, I think my parents did a good job.
That's awesome. What position did you play in baseball?
I played first base. I played outfield, and I pitched. And I'm a lefty, so I really enjoyed throwing curveballs, sliders, and I was more of a wild pitcher, so I did have some heat, but I really enjoyed throwing breaking balls, and that's sliders. Yeah, curveballs and sliders, and at that time, Fernando Valenzuela was a big thing as growing up as a kid. So I was inspired by Fernando Valenzuela, and
what team was he on?
Dodgers.
Dodgers, okay.
Fernando Valenzuela, yeah. So he was an amazing pitcher for the Dodgers from Mexico, and actually my dad, being from Sinaloa down south, we went on a trip to Mexico like most Mexicans do. You jump in a van and head down south, and it was we all piled in there in our van, sweating our asses off because Sinaloa is extremely hot in Culiacan, and Sonora is a state that borders it. And my dad took me to his town where he was born, and so those are the fond memories that I have that my dad did for us, or especially for me to see. Hey, look, this is where this kid came from, and he was poor, and he was in this pueblo, and now he's a multimillionaire, and he's a pitcher for the Dodgers. And of course, we're all Dodger fans in LA. So, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I love that kind of stuff, man. Those success stories of people that are, they come from nothing and they just find a way. They believe in themselves and they don't stop. And I love 100%. Stuff like that, man.
Yeah, and I try to do that for my son as well. So it started at home.
Nice. Yeah, man. That's why, I love doing this podcast. I get to talk to cool people like you that are successful, and, everyone has a different story, but everybody believes in themselves at one point where they're able to get it to that next level, man. And I think it's great. So I'm glad to have you on the podcast. I'm super excited to learn more about you. And one of the things that you brought up to me before we started this podcast was your recent news about being a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how long have you been a police officer for?
I've been with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department now for over 25 years. It'll be 26 years in December.
So nobody knew about this. Like,
I never put it out. I never.
Okay.
There was really no reason for me to put that information out at the time. It you know what, I take a lot of pride in what I do, and everybody has their opinions on law enforcement, including myself. I have very strong opinions about it, and and the actions of one individual shouldn't be taken out on a whole. You know what I'm saying? And just like any
100%.
occupation, you got people that do stupid stuff that they should be held accountable for. But unfortunately, in this profession, it's you kind of get lumped into they're all like that, and that's not necessarily cool. But I'm not here to change the world either. I can just give you my opinion, you form your own opinion about me. But yeah, I mean, I take a lot of pride in what I do, and it's I just kept it away from my second occupation, which is almost like a full-time occupation, is MMA. My passion and my love, and there was no real reason to bring it up back then, and until now, I think I hit my 25-year mark, and it was a milestone in my career. Like, wow, man, I've survived being a cop in LA and doing the stuff that I do, and I did it at the worst time. I put out that I was a cop during, obviously, a very bad history in our country during these last few riots, and that sparked a lot of the civil unrest. And when I did that, when things are good, and you ride that wave and put it out, hey, look, this is what I'm doing when things are good, that's all fine and dandy. But I felt that I'm comfortable with who I am. I think that I'm very transparent. I'm very straightforward. I believe, I like to say that I'm a person that has good morals and character, and I'm honest. I'm straight up. I'm not perfect by any means, but I do the best I can to be a good person. And my actions speak louder than words. And I figured at this point, at this juncture, that if people see who I am and who have followed me, they can actually say, you know what, not all cops are bad. And right. This is an example of, I don't know, some people may hate me. I don't know. That's neither here nor there, but I don't care. I know who I am. But it'll give them a good representation of who I am and what I do. And there's a whole lot more like me that are out there to do the right thing. And I think that's important.
That's very important. It's funny, like, people, I don't like to get really political, but like I like to just kind of simplify things, because I feel like we're in a world today where everything is dissected, and I think it's dissected to the point where it's too much. Just simplify things and look at it for what it is and make a judgment, move on. But there's a lot of people that talk about racism and this and that. Well, what is racism? I'm going to tread lightly when I say this, but you're basically looking at one person and you're judging that one person as an entire ethnic background or group.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have side A that's doing that, and then side B on the law enforcement side, a lot of people are now using that same approach towards police officers and taking some bad apples in a large group and saying they're all bad. So it's kind of like a double standard. Yeah. And to me, it don't fly with me, man. To me, it's just doesn't work for me.
It's first off, a lot of people are followers. and
The sheep.
they're sheep, man, and
Hmm.
it's they don't make decisions on their own. They think they go with whatever's trendy or cool or what somebody else is doing, and they think that's what it is. That's what it's really about, without really looking deep down and understanding what the real story is and what the real facts are.
Mm.
And then do some investigating on their own. That's why I read everything, I look at everything, and I just, when I watch the news, I think it's a narrative, and it's I have my opinions on the news. So, but it is what it is. But I do watch all kinds of news. I watch liberal news. I watch conservative news, and I form my own opinion.
Right.
And you know, I process things and whatever makes sense to me, and what I think is factual, and I come to the conclusion. Then that's when I start. Well, this sounds interesting, and I go with it. But a lot of folks now are just, especially these, the younger generation are followers, and they have no real idea what they're doing and what they're promoting, other than just thinking it's cool to do and follow certain things. And unfortunately, they're misled.
I've seen kids that are going on, they're taking selfies at like these protests and stuff, holding signs, and then
Yeah,
somebody's recording them doing it, and then they leave. It's a photo op,
yeah,
and to me, like it's just. And then when it goes on social media, it's such misconstrued information that we're putting out there. So I agree with you, man. Like you got to make your own call, see it for what it is, make your own call, and move on. That's how I feel about it.
you know what, Joe? Honestly, look, and if you're going to do that, and if you're going to protest, handle it, dude. Go for it. Speak your mind. Do
Oh,
it peacefully.
100. 100.
I mean, we're not all. That's why we live in the greatest country on earth, man. Where you have been given that right to do so,
Mhm.
because of veterans have died for you to have that freedom, for you
Right.
to have. So
Mhm.
respect that and go for it. If you don't agree with an agenda of whatever agenda, I don't care what it is, do it peacefully, man. That's
Mhm.
cool. Voice your opinion, let it out, but don't riot.
Yeah.
Don't destroy property. Don't loot. And don't destroy your community.
Mhm.
Nobody wins from that. And in between are the peaceful protesters that get caught up in the middle of certain things because of people that are crazy creating the havoc. And that's
Mhm.
that's a scary thing. So, but we can go on and on and on about that. And
We
and
could.
that's another subject. And
Yeah.
when it comes down to stuff like that, all I can do is I pray for them and I wish them the best.
Yeah.
And I just hope whatever they do, then people do and do the right thing and do what's right. That's all that's important.
I'm
Do
with
the
you
right thing.
100%. I'm with you
That's it.
100%. We could end that part right there. But how did you get involved in refereeing? I know you mentioned you had a boxing background. I understand you have a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background as well. How did this transpire into refereeing?
Well, you know what? I began training back then. It was called NHB before it was MMA.
Okay.
And I started training years ago in 2002. Um, and when I started training, my jiu-jitsu coach, which was John Owano, he was the original creator of the Owano glove, of the first MMA glove,
Amazing.
and he made it for the UFC, and for back then it was King of the Cage and
King of the Cage.
Pride and which were the big boys on the block back then.
Mhm.
Obviously, the UFC was the biggest, and Pride, and he would distribute his gloves to those promotions back then, which were King of the Cage was more of a local, regional show, and the other ones were obviously international and a lot bigger. But either way, though,
Right.
he made the gloves, and I started training with him and Johnny Ramirez, who's also my BJJ coach. And I got involved in training, and I enjoyed it. And I would train with some fighters that were getting ready for fights, and
Mhm.
training with them. And it was an amazing experience. I would just really love the camaraderie we have on the mat and training and holding mitts, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
I would go to their fights, and I see the referees that were refereeing, and I was a lot older, so I go, you know what, I wouldn't mind. I think I can do that. So I asked my I asked John Owano, I go, hey, John, what do you think about me being a ref? I think I was a blue belt at the time.
Okay.
And he said, Mike, I think you would do a good job, but let me connect you with the right person. I don't know about this.
Mm.
And I met Big John McCarthy, and he connected me with Big John. Him and Big John were very good friends. And I met Big John, and Big John, I mean, what can I say? The guy's an amazing guy.
100%.
He took me under his wing, and he led me down the road, but I had to do the work, and I finally got in with the athletic commission. I refereed a lot of shows. I did shows in TJ. It was my first pro shows that I ever did was in Tijuana. If you can referee TJ, bro, you can referee anywhere. You know what I mean?
Much anywhere, right?
Oh, dude, yeah. I'd fight doctors that were drunk and
I was gonna say, got the dodge bullets out there or something, man.
Dude, I had a guy with a cut across his head, man. It was bleeding. It was going to his eyes. It was a pretty nasty gash, and he was my first pro fight. And I asked the doctor. I called time, and I'm like, I'm looking. I call the doctor in. He was bleeding. I was very green. Obviously, it was my first show I ever did. And I asked the doctor, I go, hey, doctor, está cortado de aquí. I started telling him in Spanish, and then the doctor was drinking. He was drinking beer, and he was trying to hook up with ring girls, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, this is classic, man. So he's like, and this fight was in a club to top it off, right? So he's calling the doctor. I'm calling the doctor to take a look at this, and he's like, I look, doctor, look. He's like, it's okay, está bien, it's okay. And this dude's gushing down here, and I'm not the expert in this, I just recognize something that needs attention, and so it's okay, está bien, it's okay. And he's trying to hook up with these chicks. So I was like, all right, so I looked at the fighter and I let it go. And subsequently the fighter wins. He knocks the guy out.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So he ended up winning the fight, and I mean, he ended up getting stitched up, and I don't know whatever happened to that kid after that. This was a long time ago, and I always remember that story. I remember that experience, and I would just tell myself, man, if I can referee in TJ, I can referee anywhere, and that's where it began. So that was actually pretty much a classic story there. But Big John has been the biggest influence in, not only is he a very good friend, him and his wife and his family, and I've been around so many great officials like Jason Herzog. He's a good friend of mine. I think he's number one. He's phenomenal. Mark Goddard. Been around great referees. Herb. Blake Grice. From the Carolinas. Really, really good guys. That I've refereed with, and really good experiences. Mike Bell in California. Ron McCarthy. These are all great guys that I've been around. Good judges and good people. So, but John was the biggest supporter, and there's nothing I won't do that nothing I wouldn't do for the man if he asked me for anything. And number two, any scenario that I have, I still call him. I still go over everything with him mechanically, what I could have done better. And he's always teaching. He never turns. He never not takes my call. He'll always call me back if you can't pick up. He's the reason why a lot of us newer officials are the up and coming guys, because of his patience and his love for the sport. He's a very unselfish man. He gives I can't speak enough of him. I hold him that high. He's a good dude, man. He's a good guy. Not only that, he's a great father too. In addition to, he's a good family man. So I take pride and say that I'm his friend.
So cool, man. I never actually spoke to John before. I'd love to have him on the podcast to talk to him too. But now you just sold me on contacting John now.
Solid dude, bro. About as solid as you're gonna get.
That's what's up.
Great guy, bro, for sure.
So after Tijuana, transition to United States. What the hell going on, dude?
I don't know, dude. I remember having tacos afterwards, man. I didn't get paid for that, so I might as well have some tacos.
Hey,
and
at least
beer,
you got tacos, man.
You gotta have those street tacos, bro, and beer.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that was the way to go. That was a good thing to go down there and have some tacos and some pacificos, and you're good to go, man.
Bro. Actually, we just did Taco Tuesday. Me and my cousins went out a couple nights ago. We do Taco Tuesday all the time, man. So like, I'll do Taco Tuesday on a Friday. I don't give a shit. I love tacos. I tell everybody that's my favorite food. Tacos, always, hands down. I love Mexican.
Can't go
food.
wrong with tacos, bro.
Dude, I'm Italian, and I grew up with all Italian food growing up, and I love Italian food, but I love Mexican food. I just love
it. I love Italian food.
All right, good. We'll switch. I go to your house, you go to my house.
Oh, you're done deal. You know what? Cultures are very similar. It's family. Yep. You're gonna go in the house. You're gonna sit down, and they're gonna feed you, and then when you're full, they're gonna feed you again, and they're gonna give you the good old Catholic blessing. And tell you how much they love you and vaya con Dios, and you're gonna and then when you leave, they're gonna give you a bunch of food to take with you.
Oh yeah, doggy bags, bro.
That's it, bro. That's the culture, man.
That's right.
Can't go wrong with
that. Food is big, man. If I remember when I was a kid, if I'm eating food off my dish and I'm not done, like everybody's looking at me like something's wrong. Are you okay? You sick? What's going on with you?
Yeah, you okay? You know what it cost to make that. You're gonna finish that, right? I hear you.
Yeah. No food goes to waste.
Nah, you can't, bro. You can't. You get those extra pounds on you, bro, and then hey, those are love pounds.
Love pounds, bro. Hey, I train, man. I do kickboxing, and I like to eat, so I just kind of try to do everything in moderation. So this way, it's like not too crazy.
Bro, I like to eat, period, man. So
I respect it. I
know, dude. I'm a fat ass. I love to eat.
What's the like number one meal for you right now? It's quarantine. Everybody's got a chance to catch up on their eating games.
I have a meal prep service that I use. AP Meal Preps, right? They're in the Whittier area in Los Angeles. All organic food, really good food. So my buddy JP, the owner of it, him and his wife Sam, they are amazing. The food's off the chain. So I eat clean for the most part. And they also have a restaurant out there. It's called Our Nest in Fullerton. So when I'm not eating their food that they make me for my meal prep, I'll go to the restaurant. So their food is very good. So I do eat for the most part clean, but I do cheat quite a bit here and there. And when I do, it's like, if I'm hungry for pizza, I'll get pizza. If I want Italian food, we'll get Italian food. And as long as I do it in moderation, like you said, and just don't get too crazy with it,
Yeah, I've been doing the intermittent fasting, so I'm starting to eat it. I'm trying it. My buddy does it. He's a big dude. He believes in it, and I just started doing it the last 2 weeks, and so I'm usually up like 5, 6 in the morning every day, and I'd say by 12, 1 o'clock is when I can't take it anymore. I got to eat something, so I'm trying to do it like 1 p.m. and then just stop eating at 8 p.m. So once 8 o'clock hits, I'm done.
Okay. I've actually tried it. My brother did it and he lost like 40 pounds. So for me, I've always kind of done that more or less. I always shut it down around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. My last meal would be a protein shake, after a workout. So that's something I'll suck down. But as far as food or anything, I don't, because I know my body. I'll put on weight really fast, and I do like my vino. So, gotta have my wine, brother. Gotta have a good cab, bro.
Bro, we're gonna have some cab one day. Me and you are gonna meet face to face. We're gonna have some cab,
man. I go out there with my lady in the backyard. And we have our vino or my tequila. It's all good. One or the other.
What's your tequila of choice?
Wow. My tequila of choice right now is I have this amazing tequila, bro. I highly recommend it, dude. Okay. It's called Mandala. Tequila Mandala. It is, they have an extra añejo, and it is, bro, it's off the chain. Yeah. I can hook you up with that.
Okay, cool, man.
I know the owner of the company that has it, and they've turned me on to it, and they are amazing. It's They have it at Bevmo if you guys have a Bevmo out there, but they have a Instagram page. And I'm telling you right now, it's good quality tequila. It's not like Jose Cuervo or any of that crap. It's you sip it, bro. You don't chug it. You know, you enjoy it. It's good stuff. You just sit there, you have a good cigar, sip it, and you're it's money. You're straight.
Bro, sounds like my kind of night, man. That's exactly what I like to do, man. Just kick it, have a smoke, a little drink. I'm good, bro.
You're in heaven, bro. You're good. Yeah. That's it.
Nobody's getting hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, dude. Just chill out, listen to some Pink Floyd, and you're straight, man.
Oh yeah, man. Ooh.
That's it.
Comfortably numb.
That's it. That's the cut, right? For sure.
That's right.
That's a jam,
I love it, man. So we were talking about refereeing. I just wanted to bring this up to just to get your take on it. Obviously, we've seen this stuff recently in the last couple of weeks. Dan Hardy, Herb Dean, the late stoppage situation. From a professional as yourself, what's your take on the situation and the officiating side?
You know what? Ultimately, it comes down to the referee. I see both sides. You know, I see Dan Hardy's side, and he has a valid point, and I see Herb's, and I know Herb personally. So I think at the end of the day, Herb's going to make the call, whether the referee's going to make the call. And when we make the call, it is what it is. And that was a very unique and it was refereeing's tough, man. It's very tough, and everybody has an opinion after the fact. But if you're the one in there making that call and the way the way the fighter fell, you want to give him an opportunity, but he fell with a defensive posture. And then, you know, you evaluate, but it was a very tough call to make. And then obviously, you know, Dan Hardy, who I respect tremendously and I'm a fan of, I think he you know, he had his take and he had his opinion on it. And then Herb wanted to make sure, and he let the fight go a little longer, and then it came to its conclusion. Look, they both have valid points. I could see both sides, and you got two grown-ass men giving opinions on both. Yeah, both of them have opinions on what happened, and that's it. You got two grown men having opinions. We're not always going to agree, man. We're in combat sports, and you know, you're gonna have to agree to disagree, and just let it go. You know, it is us, you know, and that's it. Just they both have valid points, and I get it. But at the end of the day, it's the referee who makes the call. And let me tell you one thing too, and I'll leave you with this. When we make calls, at least I make a call, I can speak for myself, and I can't speak for anybody else. Right. But I have to live with myself. I have to live with myself. And if you can sleep good at night with whatever calls you make and what you do, well, that's on you. I know I have a conscience, and I care a lot about the fighters, and I care about the sport. I care about the direction it's going. And if I make a call, I want to make sure I make the right call. I know, and I can tell you one thing right now: if I make a mistake, I feel horrible about it, and I want to make good on it. And I know I'll own whatever I do, and that I'm just speaking for myself. Right. And I'll just leave it at that.
And I appreciate your take on it. And, you know, that kind of leads me to another question too. You know, as a referee, as a professional referee, do you ever go back, rewatch the fights to see if maybe you could have done something differently? Maybe you missed something. How does that work for you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I watch the fights that I officiate. Once again, I talked to John. You know, there's just times that you know, it's a tough job to make the right call at the right time. And sometimes what we think we're letting it go because they're doing all the right things. We also have to keep in mind that the fighter is instinctively fighting. We need to know if this fighter is really hurt, or is he instinctively fighting, or is he or she trying to defend themselves, but they're taking too much damage. Sometimes the fighter may be too damn tough for their own good, and we got to protect that fighter from themselves.
Right.
And these are the things, man, I'm telling you, that go through my head. And I'm watching body language. I'm watching reaction. There's a lot of things, a lot of variables, a lot of things that take place. Where in how much time is how many rounds have we gone in? Is he a fresh fighter? Is he going to recover? There's a lot of things that take place, and then sometimes just fighters are just banged up. You just got to say you let it go, you stop it. But a lot of things go into play when we're making these calls. So when people bash officials, especially the referees, if they think they can do a better job, then they should step up and do it and try it.
Right.
And knock yourself out. I'll help you. If not, Big John will help you. There's a whole lot of us that are like that we care, that we want to see people come up in the ranks and officiate this, because it's not as easy as people think it is.
It can't be. It's fast-paced sport. You're right there in the mix of everything, and like you said, you're trying to figure out, is the fighter just trying to fight and he's hurt, and he's too tough for his own good? So yeah, there's a lot of factors in what you do. And look, I don't know Dan Hardy or Herb Dean personally. I'd like to, Herb Dean's been around forever. He's very well respected. So I'm sure this guy's going to go into every fight as he would any other fight. Is he a human being? Is he perfect? No, none of us are. So yeah, I think mistakes happen. Dan Hardy, yeah, he had a valid point. I don't agree with how he went about it. I think there's a more professional way to do things instead of calling somebody out, but
right.
Is what it is,
100%.
That's just my opinion. I'm sure both are fucking cool ass guys. But like you said, it just is what it is. And you're in there, you're in the ring, you're the one making the call, and you're going to do the best job that you can. Otherwise, eventually people are going to know that you're not doing a good job and you're gone, so.
I think Herb's point that when you're refereeing the fight, you have somebody telling you to stop it on the outside. You don't know if it's a doctor. So he had some very good points that he made that could distract you and this and that, and it takes your focus on what you're looking at. So, I see his point, and I also see the other side. But I think that there's a time and place to voice your opinion about it, and commentators have a very powerful weapon. They have the microphone. Yeah. They can have a captive audience, and when you have a captive audience that's listening to you, they take your word as if it's gospel. And oftentimes the commentators don't. Matter of fact, I know they don't know all the complete rules. They think they do, but they don't. They miss a lot, especially with the judging criteria and officiating and the mechanics that a referee does. And these are, we have amazing commentators that have, amazing backgrounds. But I think it would be I would like to see commentators and people that are involved in commentating the fights actually go and take John McCarthy's course, the command course, and come when we're teaching the judging and the refereeing mechanic side. Or you don't need to be there the whole time, but just at least get a good understanding of what our rules and regulations are and what our guidelines are and what we do in our criteria. And you sit there, you will come out of there, you'll learn something from it, and you'll understand exactly what we do. But overall, I think the commentators, they do a very good job,
100%.
Yeah. So they try to do the best job they can, but they're also human too. But they got a very powerful weapon, and that's that microphone. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're 100% correct with the information they put out.
Sure.
So it's all good.
Yeah, we all make mistakes, man. I do the podcast. I fuck up too, so I got to go Google it. But whatever, man, it is what it is. Like, keep it light. Everybody makes mistakes.
Oh
I think
yeah.
the commentators are fantastic. I love listening to them. Very entertaining. They know their stuff, But it is what it is. It was one situation. A million other situations like that going on in the world. So I think keep it light. Keep it light. But I appreciate your professional outlook on it. But I also wanted to ask you about Kingdom because, Kingdom was one of my favorite shows. And I'm sad that it was only 3 seasons, but I thought that show was so good. And a friend got me recently involved in that show. So I was just like, yo, what is going on? Then I saw my boy, bro. I saw the big mustache. I was like, that's my boy right there. What's up? So tell me about that. How'd you get involved in that show? Did somebody reach out to you? How'd that go down?
Actually, the show's old. It's a few years old. So it had its moment when it first came out. I think 6 years ago, maybe. Might have been 6 years ago. 2014, I think, is when it came out.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that. I could be wrong, but I was asked to be a part of this project, and it was actually Joe Daddy Stevenson, who was a coordinator for the show, and he's the one that trained the fight. He actually trained the actors. They worked out with him, and they went to his gym and they trained. So I'll give you a back history on the actors. Nick Jonas,
they did a fantastic job, dude.
Bro, they trained. Jonathan Tucker, man, Jonathan Tucker, who played Nick Jonas's brother. He trained. He comes from a wrestling background.
Okay,
and so he understands that he's an athletic dude. All of them are athletic guys. But they actually trained. They actually were there with Joe Daddy. They were on the mat. They were learning moves. They were banging with guys. Matter of fact, one of the scenes when Jonathan Tucker was, I think he might have been Georgie Kaparkian. I mispronounced his name, but Georgie was fighting him, and he hit him with an elbow, and actually opened him up during filming. And he got him good, right, dude? And obviously everybody's like, "Whoa, you okay?" To the actor, he was like, "Dude, keep it going, don't stop. This is great." And he's got blood coming out of his, like real blood. It wasn't fake blood. And he took the elbow like a champ, and he just said, "Keep going. This is great. Keep going. Keep going." And he was more concerned with if they got the real shot. And if it looked real, and if it was good, and hopefully they captured what they wanted to capture. That's the kind of attitude these guys had. That was Jonathan Tucker. Matt Lara is the other one who they all trained. He had the less. He didn't train before as much, but he did some phenomenal stuff. Very athletic, and he really worked out hard. Nick Jonas, he did a flying armbar. He was pulling off all kinds of stuff. Real athletic young man. And of course, Frank Grillo comes from a boxing background, and I believe he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. So
he did a fantastic job, man.
Yeah, you can hear Frank a mile away, man. He's always loud. He's an Italian dude from New York. You can hear him, man, and he's always talking smack. And I love Frank. So we were always busting balls. And I'm a Dodger fan. He's a Yankee fan. And
hey, it's like me, Yankees, baby.
There you go. See, man, we're already fighting. You know what I mean? So,
that's right, man. Well, I don't want to fight too, man.
So we had a really good job on that, and Joe Daddy Stevenson and Juan Archuleta, who fights for Bellator, was their coaches, and they were there with them all the time, and got them ready, and it was a project that I was asked to work, and I worked it all the way to the end, and I had a really good time, and the storyline was really great. So it not only was an MMA drama, but it touched on a lot of personal sentiments to a lot of folks that you can relate to, a lot of things, a lot of family stuff, that very sensitive stuff that people don't talk about, and they did a good job with it.
Yeah, even the weight cut part, man, they really went deep into the weight cut, and I'm like, I was impressed, man.
That was one of my favorite episodes. And do you know that he actually did go through that weight cut?
I was going to ask you that. He really did, huh?
Wow. He did. He wanted to know what it felt like and to go through it. And Joe, look, man, those guys, they a lot of respect to those actors because they actually lived it, breathed it, and wanted more. And they didn't have any attitudes on the set. Nobody did. There was no egos. There was the loudest one, of course, was Frank. Always talking smack, and he was just had a lot of energy. And but they all worked their tail off, and their work ethic was pretty amazing. And it transcended into the into the screen, and what we saw depicted their hard work. It was great.
Yeah, I had some friends that were asking me, "Hey, those guys, those dudes, are they real fighters?" I'm like, "Nah, they're actors, but they're phenomenal, man." I mean, that whole cast from start to finish, man. They casted it perfectly. The acting was fantastic. The referee, that dude with the long mustache, he was pretty good too. I gotta say,
he had some late stoppages. He had some shitty calls. Yeah, man. Yeah, he sucked. We had a great time. We had a great time in that, and a little backstory on that. We used the athletic commission, the people that were there. Everything was about as authentic. Mark Ralia, who does the weighing in for all the big shows, the UFC and all the major boxing events, is Mark Ralia. He was there. Derek Cleary, who is one of the top judges in the world, was there as well.
Wow.
Cage side, yeah. So these are dudes that Joe Daddy, they brought them all in there. The inspectors that were coming in, the authenticity, the checking in was done by CSAC, by the California State Athletic Commission, as actors and as extras.
No wonder it came off so real on camera.
And the inspectors in the back, to the everything coordinated and choreographed was done as if it was a real show. Even the weigh-ins and even the weight cut that was performed on film was actually the actor, actually, it was Jonathan Tucker that went through that. He actually did go through that himself.
Wow. I saw them, man. They had the suits on. They're in the sauna. They're doing their thing. They're on the bike. They're going through that drama when you get on this fucking scale and you're 10 pounds away. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I tell you, man, it was cool as hell.
It was it's a really good show. I think there's a petition going out to try to bring it back, and
I'll be the first one to sign it, man. Bring it. I'll put that shit right on this podcast, bro. I'll sign it.
It's and I hope it does, and they bring it back. It would be it would be pretty special with what's happened then and now, where they'll take it. It's a lot of the sport has changed, and it's growing. And it's going in a different direction. So it would be pretty interesting how they would do it now.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend about it, and actually a couple of days ago, and I'm like, it'd be cool if Ryan became like a star in the UFC. Years later, that it's kind of like picking up from a couple of years later, and like everybody kind of went a different way, but it'd be cool to see, something on a high level like that.
Who knows what the direction was with that show. And who knows where it would have gone, but I think that would be a great storyline, to carry it on to the UFC or a big event like that, so it'd be great.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
How many shows did you work? Because I seen you periodically throughout all 3 seasons.
I did just about. I did all their major fights. I was their main referee for the big fights.
That was awesome.
And I did some of the lower level fights on that when they were when they were coming, which is very common in California or any commission, especially here in California.
Okay.
We work big shows, we work regional shows, work amateur shows. So I could be your referee from when you were a baby coming up all the way to the top.
Wow.
And which is cool because we have a huge amateur program here in California, which is Camo, which a lot of these top fighters have come out of there. Tatiana came out of there. TJ Dillashaw fought in Camo. So all these, Ronda Rousey, I refereed her first fight, and she came out of the Camo program. So we've had a lot of these kids come out of there, and now they're obviously have moved on to greener pastures, and they've done well. So it's pretty cool.
Who's like the most standout fighter for you that you've seen, young, they were young, they were kids, and they're coming up, and you're just like, wow, I can't believe like this person got that far, or just like a shocker, like wow, can't believe I refereed that person's first match or when they were young.
Ronda Rousey.
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey. I refereed her first fight, and she was just, a pretty girl, so kind, such a sweetheart she is, right? And very respectful. She was just a baby coming in, and then here come, all the Armenians coming in behind her, Gokor Chavichian and Karl Parishian and all of the Sevak and Karin and all the kids that I've known through refereeing,
Yep.
Are coming in with her, and they came deep. Judo Jean LaBelle was there, and
Oh wow.
they told me I had her fight. She's an upcoming fighter. And I go, who? And I said, that girl right there. She's like a badass judo player. She's gonna fight tonight. And I'm like, that girl is? And she goes, yeah, she's awesome. And it was Ronda Rousey.
Wow.
And she fought in that fight that night, and she pulled off her armbar. And I remember the girl that she fought, she pissed on herself in the cage.
Wow.
She forgot to tap. And it's an amateur show, so she just got thrown, and obviously it was her first armbar, and she was so scared because she's never been thrown like that before, and as Ronda came in for the armbar, she was so discombobulated, and so she didn't know what happened. But one thing I tripped out when Ronda was in there, very smiles and everything, very nice, and the second she went into the cage, boom, it was Ronda.
Wow.
And
Crazy.
she had a switch. And before the bell even rang, her opponent was already defeated.
Damn.
And it was, I can tell because I can feel the energy. I can see what's going on. And then I can see the body language. And then obviously we saw the first glimpse of what turned out to be Ronda's amazing career. And that was pretty cool. And she's always been a sweetheart. Her mom was awesome and still amazing. And I still talk to Ronda and Travis, and we're all pretty cool when we see each other. So
That's what's up.
Yeah, she's a good kid. She's awesome.
She did great. I mean, WWE she transitioned to, she's got a nice career, man. She could go so many different ways, where she's at right now. So I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, and she opened the door. She paved the road for a lot of women in the sport, and for that you got to give her credit.
That's right. Absolutely, man.
She's a trendsetter, man. She's a trailblazer. She's an OG.
Dude, when I used to see her come into the octagon, I just that stone cold. It was like a female Mike Tyson, man. Just
right.
It was a dangerous look, man. That's a trademark, man. That's a trademark. And
she's focused. Yeah.
Super focused, man. Super. I loved watching her when she came up, snapping on bar after on bar. I'm like, what? It's like, wait a second. Scary stuff, man.
Yeah,
really cool.
She's a terrific person, man. She's awesome.
So, how many matches are you going to be refereeing tomorrow?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know what fights I have. I just know I'm in my room and
get some tacos tonight or some Italian food, something. Little vino, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in my room talking to you, dude. So,
Hey, we chilling, bro. We're all in quarantine, man. So I try to limit myself when I go out. I got the mask, I do my thing, I follow the rules, get my food. I'll see you later,
That's it, dude. That's it, bro. Man. So, yeah, I don't know how many fights I have tomorrow. I just know it's going to be an amazing event. It's Bellator is an awesome promotion. They treat you very well. It's great. Man. I love working with Bellator, and like I said, it's my first time here at Mohegan Sun, and wow, this is a nice resort, man. It's too bad I'm in my room.
Yeah, I know, man. I was gonna say it's a waste,
I'll get my room on tomorrow, man. I'll sneak out or something, I just want to check out the lake, and I'm actually there's a river right here, and I want to just check it out and take it in. But it's a beautiful place.
That's awesome, man. I gotta tell my boy Jake Hager I spoke to you.
Ah, yes, Jake. Yeah, he's that big meathead. Yeah, yeah, he's a strong kid, man. He's a beast, you know,
Big
and
dude.
he's a very big kid, and you know, very, 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 very down to earth, nice guy, man. You know, and he's a listen a little better, but you know,
No, he felt your wrath. He felt it.
yeah. Every time I see him, I remind him. I look at him. I
Yeah.
go, "Don't be doing that shit." And he just laughs. He goes, "Oh, I know, Mike." You know, and he's a great guy, though. He's you
He's a
know, I
good
wish
dude.
him the best in his career, and he's got a lot. He brings a lot to the table. And he's a stud, man.
Yeah, he
You
is.
know, he's a specimen. So you know, it's it'd be interesting to see how he develops and how he grows into his role. You know, he
Yeah,
brings
man.
a lot to the table. So I wish that kid the best.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, he's it's cool to see him doing what he's doing. He actually when I spoke to him, he said they were in the works of getting a fight together for him. The contract wasn't signed, so he couldn't talk about it. But that was a few weeks back, maybe a month ago. So I think he's got a fight announcement coming up pretty soon. So that'll be cool to see.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him back in there, and it's
Yeah.
good to see not just him but everybody. You know, and this,
Sure.
you know, it's just you know, let's get this tournament going. Let's this Bellator tournament's amazing. You know, it's stacked with talent. So, you know, it's fun. And so hopefully it can continue, and or we have less restrictions, if you will,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
hopefully we can get some fans in attendance, and you know, God willing, get some normalcy back in our lives again. You know, and hopefully this thing will pass. You know, sooner than later. You know.
Hell yeah, man. I wanna see you at a Bellator event, man. I want to be there. I want to be watching it. I want to check it out, man. I'm dying to get to one.
Yeah, hopefully, like I said, it'll be sooner than later. You know, and
Yes.
until then, we just you know just have to take it day by day, and
That's right.
you know just go with the flow, and you know, hopefully it'll happen soon. You know.
Absolutely, man. I'm wishing you the best of luck tomorrow. Have a great show, a great event, and I'll be watching closely, my friend. I'll let you
Yes,
know
I'm
if I
sure you
see
will. I'll get a
if I
DM from you.
see any late stoppages. You're gonna hear from me.
Yeah, God.
No,
Let's
no,
just
no,
hope
man.
that doesn't happen.
It's gonna be
Let's just.
perfect, man.
I'll,
It's gonna go good. It's gonna go real good.
I'll do the best I can, and I'll give every fighter my undivided attention.
100, man. I'm sure you will, man. It's gonna be a great show. You're gonna do great, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll be tuning in tomorrow.
You got it, brother, man. Thank you for asking me to come aboard, and it was an honor being with you guys, man.
Bro, honor to have you on here, man. Super cool talking to you, and let's stay in touch, man. We'll do one again in the future.
You got it, brother. I'll get you some of that tequila.
All right, man. I'll do shots right on the show, man.
You sip it. You don't shoot it.
All right,
Sip
deal.
it.
I'll
You
sip it.
sip it. There
Sip
you
it.
go. Just sip it. Sip it. Enjoy it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's all you got to do, bro. That's it.
I'm with it, brother. I'm with it. Yo, when I'm in Cali, bro, I'm gonna come see you, man.
Absolutely, hit me up, man, for sure. You're in LA area. Just hit me up, dude. We'll hook up. I'll take you somewhere to go eat out here. We're good.
Likewise, man. You in Florida? Come on down the West Palm Beach area, Miami. You let me know, man. I got you.
You got it, brother. You take care, man. God bless, bro.
God bless you, brother. Take care,
All
bro.
right, bye.
Bye. That's a wrap. Mike Beltran, award-winning referee. Guy's a superstar, man. I mean, you've seen it right there. Just a cool, classy guy and a badass and a fantastic referee. So I just wanted to give a shout. This is actually our pre-record. We usually go live, but with kind of switching things up for a little bit. But I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Hemp Boca, Quality CBD. They have this bang ass post-workout massage oil. It's unbelievable. You got to check it out. Hempboca.com. Use code MMA and you get a discount. Pretty cool stuff. And also for quality cannabis, if you want to go on the THC side, hit up Veteran Farms at veteranfarms.com. That's PHARMS. You want to check them out. And I wanted to give a thank you to Kung Lee. Kung Lee was our guest last week. Had a great time talking to the legend himself, Kung Lee. It was a lot of fun. And guys, you could subscribe on YouTube at MMA Uncensored. Past interviews, brand new interviews like this one with Mike Beltran, and also IG at MMA Uncensored _. You can get the latest news in combat sports as well as the podcast news. It's a really cool site, so check it out. I think we're at like 428,000 followers. It's pretty cool. So thank you guys for following. It's been a lot of fun. And also, before I forget, IG, you could follow at referee _Mike _Beltran. That's my boy Mike Beltran, one of the best referees in the game today. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we have another episode coming up very soon, and I'm excited to make that announcement as well. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.